Thank you for staying tuned to Channels Television and welcome to Newsroom series. This edition of the program covering Nigeria's Northeast. I am Bukola Koka and we begin with the day's top story. Vice President Senator Kashim Shettima has met with the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, during which he reiterated Nigeria's call for comprehensive reform of the global body system to reflect evolving global realities. He emphasized that Africa must have stronger representation in global decision-making structures and declared that Nigeria deserves a permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council. Mr. Shettima made the comments during a high-level bilateral meeting with the United Nations Secretary General on the sidelines of the 39th AU Summit in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. In his remarks during the meeting, the UN chief urged Nigeria to spearhead Africa's quest for a restructured global order, describing the country as uniquely positioned to lead the continent towards superpower status. He commends what he describes as the remarkable and outstanding reforms of the administration of President Tinubu, noting that Nigeria's bold economic restructuring and security commitments have strengthened its continental standing. Both leaders pledged to deepen cooperation, with Guterres reaffirming the UN's support for Nigeria's reform agenda and its growing leadership role in advancing peace, security, and development across Africa. Gombe State is set to address long-standing land administration challenges through sweeping digital reforms aimed at modernizing its urban planning system. And to this end, the government has commenced a transparent bidding process for geospatial data capture and street naming in the metropolis. Created on October the 1st, 1996, Gombe State, with a population of over 4 million people, has faced persistent land administration challenges, including unplanned development and poorly numbered houses. These issues, largely attributed to inadequate political will by past administrations, have complicated property identification, service delivery, and urban planning. However, Governor Inuwa Yahaya's modernization drive is changing the narrative. The administration has strengthened and institutionalized the operations of the Gombe Geographic Information System, introducing comprehensive digital reforms in land administration. For the Director General of the Gombe Geographic Information System, Dr. Kabiru Hassan, the exercise will replace archaic methods of describing locations and significantly improve property identification. He says accurate geospatial data and properly installed streets and house signages will make it easier to locate homes and businesses within the metropolis.
We want to avoid this olden days address. You know, before the colonial era, then in 60s, we have a good address system. But now with the advent of technology, automation, that is the reason why we want to, key into this kind of, infrastructural development in the state. You will see we have two lots. One is for the signage. The other one is for the geospatial infrastructure. So those infrastructure are going to be mounted here in Gojis so that it will enable the street naming and the house numbering to key into our auto photo.
The latest initiative is a transparent bidding process to select a qualified firm for geospatial data capture, as well as the production of signages for street naming and house numbering across Gombe metropolis.
This exercise marks another important milestone in His Excellency's ongoing land administration and urban governance reforms, aimed at strengthening service delivery, improving emergency response, enhancing revenue generation, and positioning Gombe as a modern, well-addressed and digitally enabled city. The street naming and house numbering initiative is not just an infrastructure project. It is a foundational system for effective governance, security planning, economic activities, and inclusive urban development.
Prospective contracting firms have commended the transparent bidding process, describing the street naming and house numbering initiative as a quantum leap in the development of Gombe State. Chairman of the Nigeria Society of Engineers Gombe State Branch, Mohammed Seidu, says the project will significantly improve infrastructure planning and service delivery.
It can encourage a lot, it can help a lot, because in the process of generating revenue, because always government need GRI, because this GRI can help to develop a state far better than before. Because see, even from now, we have experienced a lot of infrastructural development. Why? Because of the revenue generated within the state. So then we are encouraging this house numbering and street numbering.
Officials of the Gombe Geographic Information System remain confident that the exercise will help reduce criminal activity, strengthen security, and enhance emergency response services, including health and fire services. The initiative is also expected to deepen Governor Inuwa Yahaya's modernization agenda and reposition Gombe as a digitally driven and efficiently managed state. The National Technical Team on the Sustainable Power and Irrigation for Nigeria, SPIN, has expressed satisfaction with the technical readiness of Taraba State for adequate implementation of the project. The visit by the technical team to Taraba underscores the state government's determination to enhance energy supply, boost agriculture, and curtail recurring clashes between farmers and herders in some local governments.
The Sustainable Power and Irrigation for Nigeria SPIN is a World Bank-supported project of the federal government aimed at enhancing national food security, water management, and climate resilience. This builds on the successes of the Transforming Irrigation Management in Nigeria project, which rehabilitated about 32,000 hectares of irrigation schemes and empowering water users associations across the country. Taraba is one of the states selected to run the program owing to its irrigation farming potentials. The National Technical Team is visiting the state to ascertain the technical readiness of the state. Members are taking round the project site at the defunct Lao tomatoes production industry, a sign that the state is ready to push for the success.
This program is for their own benefit. Even based on the speech of our 10 leaders, we tried our possible best that everything they're going to do, this committee will be involved because it's for their own benefit. So anything that we do, they will be involved.
This is a place whereby they used to farm tomatoes and sugarcane. We thank God with this program that is on board now. That shows that we have gotten another opportunity to impact the lives of our people. And you are coming to our state, we know that it's a plus to us. And we want to say thank you so much for taking your time. We want to appreciate our governor for giving us the platform and also giving us the opportunity to partner with you people.
Leader of the National Technical Team on Sustainable Power and Irrigation for Nigeria expresses satisfaction with the technical readiness of Taraba State, which is an important factor in tackling farmers versus herders clashes.
It is all about modernization where water users association are going to be empowered. They are going to be trained so that they will take over the operation and maintenance of the tertiary and primary canals, while the government will take care of the main dam or the main water source. In the design, there will be animal drinking trough, animal crossing. So when they have the animal drinking trough at different perimeters of the project schemes, they will not be able to enter inside the project. They will have their water. They will drink their water, and again they have animal crossing. So there will be mutual relationship between the farmers and the herders, and there will be no issue.
Meanwhile, the team pays a courtesy visit to the Secretary to Taraba government, who stood in for the governor. He reiterates the state's support to ensure that the agriculture and energy sectors get the required attention.
Anything that needs to be done to improve what we are doing so far, because the friends who are fully loaded, we are all here. So anything that will improve on it, Taraba State will have better standing. Please don't hesitate to do so.
The state government believes that the implementation of its partnership with the federal government through the Sustainable Power and Irrigation for Nigeria program will turn around its desire to boost its investment in its water, agriculture, and energy sectors.
The leadership of the National Center for the Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons has expressed concern over the proliferation of weapons among the general public. The Northeast Zonal Director, Major General Abubakar Adamu, retired, disclosed this at a workshop on forfeiture and handling of small arms and light weapons by courts after judgment of prosecution of firearms cases in Borno State, in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital.
The Northeast Development Commission has continued to
The proliferation of small and light weapons continue to be a major driver of insecurity, criminality, and instability in our region. While commendable progress has been made to arrest and also prosecute and convict offenders, a critical gap often persists in the post-judgment phase, particularly in relation to the forfeiture, custody and management, and also safe disposal of recovered weapons. If not adequately addressed, this gap possesses the risk of recirculation of arms into the market, thereby undermining justice and also increases security challenges. It is in response of this challenge that the Northeast Zonal Center, in collaboration with the United Nations Development Fund, conceptualized this workshop. The objective is to strengthen procedure, clarity, enhance interagency coordination and institutional capacity.
The Chief Judge of Borno State, who was represented by Justice Aisha Ali, pledged to support the agency's mandate in ensuring all small arms and weapons recovered are being controlled as enshrined by the law.
The judiciary as a critical stakeholder in ensuring this protection. Justice is committed to ensuring that everything is done to ensure that issues takes informed state. We at the judiciary understand that justice cannot be dispensed without security. In fact, even governance itself has also been dispensed without security. We therefore recognize the importance of this center and will do anything to support it.
In an effort to boost school enrollment, especially in rural areas, the Yobe State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education has handed over 400 bicycles to junior secondary school students. Making the symbolic presentation in Damaturu, the state capital, the State Commissioner for Health, Professor Abba Idris Adam, said the gesture is to support the day students who walk far distances to access education away from their communities.
His Excellency's ambition to increase access to education and, upgrade the standard of education in Yobe State. His Excellency Honorable Dr. Mai Malabuni supplied these bicycles to be distributed to students. We all know some students, particularly from the rural areas, are, having a long distance to school and sometimes on foot. So these bicycles are going to, ease access of our students to school. And also they are going to reduce the fatigue before classes. What we are my call on the teachers and parents is to make sure that these bicycles that are given to the student are used for the purpose to which they are given to. So please, we are warning strictly that these bicycles are given to students and they should be used for going to school. They should not be diverted for any other purposes. This is the first batch. So many other batches are coming. As we select the best, others are still coming because this will boost the morale of other students to perform better.
The federal government has intensified efforts to strengthen Nigeria's automotive sector with the training of artisans in Yobe State. The initiative, driven by the National Automotive Design and Development Council, is aimed at boosting technical capacity and supporting the National Automotive Industry Development Plan.
Hundreds of artisans, mostly mechanics and electricians, have been selected and trained at this facility in Potoskum, Yobe State on the repair and maintenance of PMS and CNG-powered tricycles and motorcycles. The program is designed to support the implementation of the National Automotive Industry Development Plan and enhance internally generated revenue through skill acquisition and local capacity and development. It's part of broader efforts to reposition Nigeria's automotive industry for growth and sustainability.
Today, commissioning NEDC Automotive Training Center in Potoskum, which has received its state-of-art training equipment, show tools, and has been installed. It is not noteworthy to state that the significance of this training center is one of the success stories of the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. The project will not only provide job opportunities for the youth, but enhance skill among graduates and undergraduates.
Shortly before commissioning the center, the Minister of State for Industry, Trade and Investment, Senator John Owan Eno, revealed that no fewer than 20 automotive training centers have so far been established across Nigeria to ensure continuous improvement of skills in the sector.
The federal government, through the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, and under my mandate for industry, entered into a robust discussion and an engagement with an Asian investor for the establishment of an automotive hub in the country. This initiative has the potential of employing at least 7,000 Nigerian youths, as well as the regeneration of battery technology. All these need manpower. All these need infrastructure. And that is why this facility today is of utmost importance. In this wise, the NEDC has constructed 21 similar automotive training centers across the country.
Governor of Yobe State, May Malabuni, represented by his deputy, pledged the state's government support to ensure the center operates efficiently and achieves its objectives.
For establishing this center here reinforces the federal government's commitment to balance regional development and complete economic recovery. For Yobe State, this center aligns perfectly with our administration vision of economic recovery, youth empowerment through skill acquisition, private sector-led growth, reduction of unemployment and social vulnerability, as well as promotion of peace through economic opportunity.
The National Automotive Design and Development Council, established by Act 6 of 2014, is mandated to initiate, recommend, supervise and regulate policies for the development of Nigeria's automotive industry. The newly commissioned center is expected to strengthen technical expertise in the Northeast and create more employment opportunities for skilled artisans.
In line with its mandate, the Northeast Development Commission has completed and handed over projects in Adamawa State geared towards improving the quality of life of the people. The Minister of State for Regional Development, Uba Megari, who commissioned the projects, says they will bring a new lease of life to benefiting communities, some of which have suffered from the devastating effects of insurgency.
The Northeast Development Commission has continued to make strides in rebuilding communities in Adamawa State through the construction and rehabilitation of critical infrastructure aimed at improving the livelihood of vulnerable populations, especially those affected by insurgency. The multi-billion naira interventions cut across healthcare, education, road networks, water supply, and electricity projects in several local government areas. The Minister of State for Regional Development, Uba Megari, is in Adamawa State to commission and formally hand over some of these completed projects to the state government.
The glory of God Almighty and the service of humanity. Like they say, water is life. By this gesture, embarked upon by the NEDC, so much has already been restored by the provision of water, as already spoken by the MD. We already have water running in the School of Nursing.
It's part of the federal government's commitment to restoring hope and driving socio-economic recovery in the northeast region.
This opportunity has already been unofficially commissioned, but now today you have to give us approval of what we give as secretary, at least for officially commissioning it, and now formally hand over to the state government so that they talk about the maintenance and so forth. When we go to the school, nothing you can see what I'm talking about. So don't note, they're going to waste more time. So now I will invite for you to officially now commission this one and hand over to the state government formally, so that we'll be in charge going forward. Thank you.
Earlier, the minister paid a courtesy visit on the Deputy Governor of Adamawa State, Professor Kaletapwa Farauta, to brief her on the purpose of his visit.
Your Excellency, there are quite a number of projects cutting across several sectors, from health to education, humanitarian outreach, water, and name them, from Guyuk to Hong to Madagali, the hometown of His Excellency, the Governor, and all over Adamawa State. We intend to, while we are here for the 2-3 days we shall be your guest, go around and we will request that His Excellency provides for us a link person to enable us go around together, because most of these projects after commissioning are usually handed over to the state governments for taking over and putting it to use.
The second in command in Adamawa State commends the NEDC for its interventions and calls for sustained federal government support to further accelerate development in the state.
The pressures from Yobe, from Borno, reaches Adamawa State by the reason of pushing the human resource into Adamawa State, especially the very vulnerable. And that tells a lot on our little resources that we have, especially at the border local governments and even up to the state capital. So we would expect that when you do one in one of these states, you do two, because half of the people from there seem to migrate into Adamawa State. So please, if we can put that into cognizance, Adamawa should have, an expanded presence of the Northeast Development Commission.
Projects commissioned and handed over include a 2.1-kilometer road at the Federal College of Education, Yola, a mega school in Guyuk local government area, a newly constructed secondary school in Gombe, as well as health, water, and electrification projects in other communities.
A fine place to anchor, and thank you very much for being a part of the program today and indeed for the entire week. We'll be back again same time next week with another round of editions covering different regions of the country. I am Bukola Koka. Bye for now.